Hey you guys, it's Alyssa here, and today I wanted to make a video about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart and pretty much took over my entire year, VBac. I had a VBac in August with my second child, and I'm so grateful that I was able to do it. It took a lot of research and adjusting a lot of mentalities that I had about giving birth. So I knew how important it was to me to find stories from women who had success with their VBac. So I really want to contribute and connect with other women who are attempting VBac or who have had a VBac. Because I think it's important to kind of destigmatize birth and especially the way we birth. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. My first tip is to believe in yourself. It seems really basic, but it is. I started a journal to basically just write down affirmations like, I can do this, my body is capable of this, my body knows how to birth. Many women before me have given birth. There were several. You can find them online. There's a vast resource of affirmations online for women who want to VBac. If you are religious, then scriptures from religious texts can certainly help you. And then I know for me as well, just having pictures of my first son there would give me some strength and empowerment. So just anything around you that's going to boost your confidence in yourself, that's going to help you know that you can do this. Tip number 2 is definitely one that helped me beyond any measure that I can explain. I hired a doula of around 9 or 10 weeks, and it was honestly such a good decision. I had never had a doula. I have friends that had birthed with doulas and recommended it, but I just kind of thought, what can they really do? They're not like medical certified to assist with anything. But when you have nurses and an OB around you whose job is only the medical side, you would be surprised how much it is so empowering and encouraging and comforting to have someone in all that chaos of the hospital and their staff, to have a woman who is there just for you, to check in with you, how you're doing emotionally, how you're doing physically. Mine was she massaged me, she talked to me. We had a lot of laughs. It's honestly just nice to have someone to talk to and joke with. And she had been and assisted in so many births at the specific hospital where I gave birth that she actually ended up knowing more than one of the nurses that was in and out of my room. So it was kind of nice to bridge that gap between not knowing these strangers to, oh, well, they know my doula, so now they're not so strange or foreign. So it just made it really less intimidating and less scary, because birth is a big process of letting go. Having someone there with you who is, like I said, specifically there for you is amazing. Mine, like I said, did massage. She brought her essential oils. We talked, we laughed. She even checked in on my husband and she coached him during my pregnancy. So she was just such a nice resource for us as a couple. And she prepared him too for what I would be like, the signs of labor. So they're a really good resource for you and your partner. They by no means replace your partner. My husband was still super involved, but I think in the moment or during the many hours of birth, he was really, really glad that I had someone there who was a woman and kind of knew what was going on. Because men they might struggle in those moments where they're feeling helpless, and she was able to pull him in and say, you know, you can do this, or you can go grab that. And so I think she just really like sort of made everything better. I don't know how to explain it. So definitely look into getting a doula. A lot of them help you through your pregnancy and then postpartum as well. Mine, her package was pregnancy and postpartum. Sometimes they have just a pregnancy and just a postpartum package, so you'll just have to look to see what's available for you in your area, and then ask around to other women and see if there's a doula that they would recommend in your area, because that's even better when you can have a personal reference to that person. My third tip is to do a lot of pelvic floor exercises, squats, anything during your pregnancy that's going to keep you active. I was diagnosed very early on in my pregnancy with a condition called pelvic symphysis disorder. I think they abbreviate it by saying SPD2. I did not have this in my first pregnancy, so it was really undesired, this pregnancy. It made it really, really difficult to walk, to get out of bed, to put pants on. It was just excruciating sometimes. I never thought that a hormone could, it's the hormone relaxin that releases too much, and so your hip joint separates just a little smidge more than it needs to, and so it's just excruciatingly painful. So I had to go through physical therapy, and I also went to the chiropractor. So even with all of those things, I still tried to work out because I knew that I needed to keep my pelvic area as strong as possible for when it came to that day of pushing. And I'm so glad I did. So just stay active, whatever that means to you. If it's walking, if it's yoga, if it's doing some squats. So just take care of yourself physically. Also, take care of yourself internally too. So just make sure you're eating well. A tip that I heard a lot about having a quicker or having a successful VBac was eating dates. I have no idea, honestly, if this helped me or not. But I do know that I did eat 6 dates a day in the last 4 weeks of my pregnancy, and I also drank a ton of red raspberry leaf tea. So you can read about red raspberry leaf tea, but essentially it's supposed to strengthen your uterine muscles. It's also really good after you're pregnant. It's just a good female tea for your female organs. And then I would say that another tip I have that I cannot stress the importance of this is to get support from your partner. My husband was on board with me from day one, which was amazing, but I know that he had his own fears that he had to work through with me trying to VBac. There's a lot of misinformation out there. The very first OB that I met with told us that there was a chance for uterine rupture. So obviously, my husband didn't want me to have that happen because that can be very dangerous. But thankfully, we consulted with a second OB who actually ended up being my OB for the remainder of my pregnancy. And she told us that chance is so low. So just research for yourself, consult with professionals for yourself. Don't just take my word for it, but make sure that your partner is involved in all of that so that they're hearing all of this dialogue that you're having with your healthcare professional as well. So that it's not just coming from you. It's not just some crazy idea that you have, that it's something that you guys are experiencing together. And so they know that this is your desire, and then they can find ways to help you as well. So that is a really big one. Just have a lot of dialogue with your partner and with healthcare professionals to determine if a VBac is the right choice for you. And then I sort of mentioned this in my last tip, but your OB is essential, or your midwife, however you choose to go. I just can't stress that enough. My first OB told me, like I said, about the possibility for a uterine rupture. Scared me and my husband both, but I'm super stubborn and strong-willed. So, like I said, I just totally immersed myself in finding information. I found the ICANN, which is, I don't know if that's like local to my state, but it's a VBac support group essentially, and it was on Facebook. So I started typing on there and asking around for OBs who were not just VBac tolerant, but VBac friendly. You want an OB who really believes in it. It doesn't just say, "Oh yeah, like that's fine," and then when push comes to shove, you know, literally you're in the 38th or 39th week of your pregnancy, or the 40th week, or the 41st week, and they're telling you, "Oh, well, no, you know, we're gonna have to do a C-section." There's a lot of women that have experienced that. So just be super, super aware. Ask them right out of the gate. If I'm 39 in 5, 6, 7 days, are you still going to support me not having an induction, going into labor naturally, or can I be induced and still do a VBac? These are all important questions that you should be asking, and then just keep asking, because I will tell you, even though my OB was super tolerant or friendly with the idea of me having a VBac, and she told me that I was a great VBac candidate, at 39 weeks, she did start throwing out the C-section word. And I have to tell you, it was tempting, because here I'm 39 weeks and 5 days and I'm just ready to get a baby out. I was also going into the Labor Day weekend, and so you have to keep in mind sort of like what's going on around you. Don't schedule your birth around your OB's preferences. Make sure that you get the birth that you want. You're your best advocate. Even a doula, you know, they can support you and they can kind of be your echo, but you are your number one advocate. Speak up, ask questions, and, you know, really remind them, well, you know, you told me at 20 weeks that I was a great candidate for a VBac. So what has changed? You make them explain to you any changes in your birth plan that they attempt to make, and then just always know that it's ultimately up to you. You are the decider. It's your body. So unless it's like a crazy emergency situation, no one should be dictating to you what your birth is going to be. So I hope this is helpful. There are a ton of videos on YouTube, so I'm glad that you found mine, and I hope that you find many, many others. I know that immersing myself in YouTube videos and positive VBac stories was super empowering, which is why I wanted to contribute to the VBac community. You can do it, and I may make a video here in the near future outlining my VBac story in detail, from my pregnancy through to delivering my son. That will definitely take some time, because there's a lot that I want to say and I don't want to make a novel out of it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, if it helped you, please give it a like, and I would love it if you subscribed. I post videos on a weekly basis, so I would love to have you here to hang out with me. My content is beauty, mommy, and lifestyle related. I'm actually working on editing a vlog right now, so I may get into that a little bit. I'm just gonna see how it goes before I promise to regularly post vlogs or anything. But yeah, so again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.